Well, hello and welcome back to this Developing Digital Skills in Your Classroom e-learning MOOC from the European Schoolnet Academy. My name's Ollie Bray and I'm a head teacher from Scotland, and this is the last video in this series, which has now spanned 6 weeks of what I think has been some outstanding learning, teaching and doing from teachers across Europe. And in this very last module, we're going to be talking about the final project and what you have to do in order to get your overall course digital badge. Now, I'm just going to provide a very brief overview in this video, but actually if you go into the Academy page, you will find some very clear instructions in terms of what you have to do. Now, I cannot emphasize enough, the rules in order for you to be able to get your final badge are actually quite strict. So please read the information very clearly to make sure that you do everything that's required to get the credit that you deserve for working so hard over the last 6 weeks. We're going to explain a little bit about it now though, just so that you've got an idea. Basically, the final assessment is in 4 parts. The first thing that we're going to be asking you to do is we're going to be asking you to create a lesson plan using some of the skills and information that you've done over the last few weeks. Now let me be clear here, you haven't actually necessarily got to deliver your lesson plan. This is about creating a lesson plan which you may deliver or you might want to deliver in the future. In order to help us do this, we're going to use a really good template which is provided by the Institute of Education from UCL in London, and it's a website which is called learningdesigner.org. Now what you'll have to do is you'll have to go to learningdesigner.org and you'll need to register. It's a very simple sign up process, and then you'll be able to access the template that we're going to use for this final assignment. I can't also emphasize enough that you need to make sure that you're using the criteria for a good lesson plan. Now you might have your own ideas on this, but as far as we're concerned from this course, that these are the key points that you need to take into account. And again, we've provided more information about this actually on the course handout. So first of all, the lesson plan has got to explicitly address the development of students' digital skills, either directly or indirectly. The lesson plan needs to incorporate good practices in the use of digital skills development, and the lesson plan needs to be well aligned with what you propose the learning outcomes to be. It also needs to be well balanced, as in there needs to be an appropriate balance of teacher-led activities and also student-led activities and discovery. As I say, there's more information on this provided in the course guidance. Once you've produced your lesson plan, the next stage is to submit your lesson plan. Now, I don't want to sort of sound funny about here, but sometimes people don't do this. You must submit your lesson plan after you've written it in order to progress to the next part of the assessment. The important thing here is not to miss the deadline. So the absolute final deadline for you to submit your lesson plan to get the full credit for this course is the 25th of October at basically midnight Brussels time. That's a really important thing. Please don't miss the deadline because we cannot accept any more lesson plans after that. The next stage of the final assessment is to review 2 other lesson plans, and you'll be given an email about this with some suggestions on which lesson plans we want you to review. Now the peer review purpose is really important here. You get a huge amount out of peer review, and some of you might have already taken something away from the optional activity that we ran during module 3. If you want to find out some more information on peer review, can I direct you towards this video from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Again, we've provided a link in the course handout where you'll look at some of the research behind peer review and why it's so valuable. Now, the absolute deadline for the peer review course is the 1st of November at 11:59 hours Brussels time, and that's where you must have peer reviewed 2 of the other activities. So after you've got your final submission on the 21st of October, you've got a week then to carry out 2 final peer reviews, and that's an important part of the course. What happens next? Well, after that then you will receive obviously the peer review that somebody has done on your course, and you'll be tasked for reading that feedback, right, and reflecting on your own learning. You don't have to do anything after that, but please read the peer review feedback. You might want to engage in some questions there, but reflect on this to think about how you might improve your lesson based on what other people have said. Finally, all right, this is the only way that assessments can work with some of these large courses. Remember, we've got over 1,500 participants registered on this course, is that it's got to rely 100% not just on your integrity, but also on your professionalism as well. Please remember that the peer review process is not anonymous, right, which means that people will know who you are. That's an important thing in terms of being open and transparent. Please take the peer review process seriously. Don't plagiarize. Provide constructive but also friendly feedback to the other participants. There's nothing more frustrating than if you're an educator and you've worked hard on this course so far and you've submitted a lesson plan that you do not get the credit that you deserve or the constructive feedback that you reserve from a peer review. You've been with us on this course for the whole of this journey. Let's make sure that we take this last step together. Don't forget, there's additional support that's always available using the eSkills course hashtag on the discussion forums, on the Twitter feed, but also on the Facebook page as well. And finally, best of luck with your assignment, but I wanted to give you a personal thank you for all of the support that you've given me over the 6 weeks. I thoroughly enjoyed putting together the resources for this course. I hope that you've enjoyed taking some of the ideas, and I hope that you will enjoy implementing them in your classrooms over the coming months, weeks, or even years. Please keep in contact via Twitter, which is just @OllieBray, or you can subscribe to my feed on Facebook, and if you're interested you could check out my website, which is www.olliebray.com. And finally, don't forget, I'm sure there'll be lots more European Academy courses coming up in the not distant future. Hopefully I'll see you on a few of them, but most importantly, hopefully you subscribe and carry on with this great professional learning. Well done, and I look forward to reading some of your peer assessments and also some of your lesson plans. Thank you again, and have a very, very good course.